Hello everyone, welcome back. We are here again. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining as always. And thankfully I've gotten the place into a decent enough state to start going ahead and doing these readings all over again. So in the meantime, while I wait for the Wi-Fi to get installed, I'm going to work with what we can now until, a good old telecoms engineer comes in and gets this whole place sorted out with some nice fast full fiber broadband. Until that time, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be doing the reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising from now until a month later. And I always do apologize that these readings are a bit late, but I'm going to try to get back on it. The move has been a success, thankfully, so now we can just go ahead and focus on our work. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give it a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell. And please also be aware of scammers. You know the drill. I'm going to just go ahead and get right into it. I've already shuffled the cards and everything, so that way we can just look directly into the reading for this month and make these readings slightly shorter. I'm going to try to keep them around 15 minutes. Get straight to the heart of the matter, 20 minutes max, and see where we're going for the month of November onwards. So what we're going to do, we start off for Taurus. We have the Six of Pentacles coupled with the, what is this? Yeah, we have the World in reverse. So what this talks about is that you're now finally giving a little bit to your current situation in order for you to help to close out a cycle that has been lingering and ongoing for a while, because you feel that you haven't quite yet leveled up. So what you're doing is you're getting the support of people around you to help you to do that. Maybe you've just started into a more pragmatic section of your life, which, because these are two earth-based cards, this is the Six of Pentacles, and then the World is also Capricorn. This could be career-focused, and what you're trying to do now is to boost yourself into your career. Maybe all of the lessons that you've had from previous careers, or all the lessons that you've had dealing with issues in the past that have led up to this current state. You are now trying to get the support and the help that you need in order to make that world go back into the upright. And that means that you're finally leveling up and feeling like you've completed a mission in your life. What we have here as the challenges, quite a few challenges that have come out. We have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Swords actually in the reverse, and the Seven of Cups. So what we're talking about here with this is that you've finally gone through a difficult cycle, and what's going on right now is that it's kind of left you reeling. A lot of things are still kind of materializing and processing at the moment, and what you really want to do is to just get everything solidified, because with that Seven of Cups coupled with the Five of Swords in the reverse, that means that you no longer want to have to go through difficulty and, dare I say, bullshit that has accumulated up to date. And right now you're just trying to find your best footing to move forward and to actually make some progress. Because what you notice is that with the Seven of Cups, typically this is between the Six of Cups and the Eight of Cups. You think positively in the past about the Six of Cups. In the Eight of Cups, you're finally walking away from everything. So, there's this period of confusion right now that you have been going through. How am I getting this sorted out? What's going to happen with this? And so on and so on. If you've entered a new workspace, then you're definitely trying to understand your job duties, getting the training that you need, and to make sure that things are clear. Because I think deep down within, you're not really sure exactly how you feel, emotionally, maybe mentally, and maybe physically, you're doing much, much better than in the past. But there's always that lingering feeling like you don't want to have to deal with the chaos that has taken place in previous roles that, are similar to this one. So, for example, you're finally getting your footing, you maybe entered a new relationship, you're finally getting into a new friendship. It's like the past, because it's coming from the Six of Cups, moving into the Seven of Cups, because the past has been fraught with such difficulties, you're now looking at this particular situation as, I really don't want to repeat the mistakes from the past, which is why the World is in the reverse as well. So You're just hoping that that support system that you have is going to help move you forward into a better place where you don't have to worry about all of those things all the time. And so in the recent past, what you had is the strength card in the reverse. And this always talks about a situation where people have felt drained, felt burdened by something. You've had to be strong. And now what you want to do is to let your hair down and be vulnerable. With the engineer in this deck, which is this is the Steampunk Tarot, we notice that with the strength card in the reverse, this is something that you have built over years. This ends up becoming the robot, and this engineer is actually having to create this and work with all of the capabilities that they have in order to make this thing come to life. Now with this tells us a lot about physical exhaustion from all of the issues from the past that have accumulated and now have you kind of on the edge of your seat when it comes to anything that you look forward to in the future. The positive thing I do see about this is that we do have the Spirit Gauge, which is the Temperance card here. So you're moving away from the Leo card to the Sagittarius card. So this is from a fixed position of having to be strong all the time, and now finally to the Spirit Gauge, which is Temperance, where you're now experimenting, you're learning new things, you're alchemizing the old and the new training that you have, alchemizing the old relationships with the new relationships that you're coming into, and this is going to in turn give you the chance to finally get to a nice harmonious balance, which is essential for you to have both the patience with yourself and furthermore the patience to make the progress that you want. At the very core of yourself, we have more earth energy, which is the Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Leviathans as it's in this deck. And what it tells us is that, you're putting in all of the hard work. You're making sure that whatever it is that you're working on now, whatever it is that you're building, whether that is a relationship, a job, put this algorithm into your life and how it applies to you. So that way you can actually understand the energies that are encompassing your specific reality at the moment. Whatever it is that you're putting a lot of work and effort into, you're now trying to make sure that it's solid so that you can get to the Nine of Pentacles, which is, a sense of independence, financial independence, mini Empress energy. I'll clarify that just a little bit. Clarify that. Yeah. Because again, I'm getting this energy here that things have been extremely difficult and very burdensome for you in the recent past. And what you're trying to do now is you're trying to work on things so that you don't have to go through that hard, that hard slog of a time, whatever it is that you've had to experience recently, you've finally gotten out of it. But it's kind of like, you know how when people are pulled out of a pool or out of the ocean after they nearly drowned, and it felt like in your recent past, it felt like you were drowning in all of the issues that you had to deal with. I don't know why I get that word, because I do see some cups energy here. I get that from the Seven of Cups and then what's coming next, which I'll explain. But it's like you struggle and you struggle and you struggle, and then that Six of Pentacles comes in and it pulls you out of the water, and then you can throw yourself onto the shore and you're just gasping for air, trying to make sense that, number one, you have been salvaged from a life-threatening situation, which was your past life, and now you're moving into something where you can kind of just sit in the sun and be rescued from this very difficult time. The reason why I say that is because what you're aware of now, you have the Five of Cups, which is at the very top. I can go ahead and pull another card to clarify that. We have the Page of Swords, clarifying the Five of Cups there. And to be brutally honest with you, you realize that you've had to talk to yourself. You've had to have very strict conversations with yourself, learning all of the lessons that you have had to take in from all of this horrible difficulties that you've had to face. So with that Five of Cups clarified by the Page of Swords, it's like you're learning the lessons from all the heartache, the difficulties that you've had to endure, all of the disappointments that you've had to face, whether that was with the previous company, which, basically, treated you with contempt, past relationships that may have, been less than satisfactory. Maybe they started out great and then they just, bottomed out completely. Whatever it is that's happened, the disappointment that it triggered within you is giving you those lessons to help guide you towards the next phase of your life. And with this, because you're moving into temperance energy, this signals to you that it's going to be okay. And that's kind of what I'm getting out of here. Let me clarify that, actually. Clarify temperance. And yeah, I say that again because you have the Six of Swords here clarifying the temperance. You're moving away from the hard times, the difficulties, the challenges, the woe is me mentality, the Five of Pentacles. You're moving away from the Five of Pentacles into the Six of Pentacles, which is what was at the heart of your spread. And this means that your community will support you this time. You will not be left out in the cold. As you move through the Six of Pentacles period, you can then go into the Seven of Pentacles. Has everything that I've worked hard for paid off? Because right now at the core, you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is telling you that you're working very, very diligently towards the right direction and phase of your life. Eights tend to, in my opinion, lead about direction. Eight of Swords. Are your thoughts directed in the right place? Eight of Wands. Are your actions and intentions directed in the right place? Eight of Pentacles. Same thing. Is the work, the energy, the time put in the right place? Eight of Cups. Are your emotions directed in the right place? Do I need to walk away from this and move into something new? So these are the questions that you're asking yourself now. And as we move away from those challenging times into something new. And the way that this is all going to end up towards the end of this period, this month, moving away from the difficult past into the new past. And especially now that just recently we started with the Mercury retrograde. And we've also had that full moon in Taurus, November 5th. It's generally, going straight for the jugular when it comes to a lot of your physical self, your money, time, resources, your value, things of that nature. That full moon in Taurus is going to make you feel those things in addition to the Mercury retrograde that we're undergoing right now. And I'm not exactly sure which Mercury sign this is in, but I'll clarify that maybe in another post later on. But what we have here, we have your sign for the outcome of this. We have the Hierophant, clarified by the Queen of Swords. So these are two really strong cards to show that the Hierophant talks about learning lessons. And typically with this, it's about being able to learn the lessons that then allow you to move into the decisions that you will be making in the future, which are the lovers. And furthermore, with that Queen of Swords, it's about getting clear on everything in your life now that you have undergone or undertaken those difficult lessons in the past. Perhaps this is something that you signed up for prior to being included in this life manifestation as now. Maybe this was your soul contract that you agreed to prior to reincarnation. But now, throughout this process, what you're doing is you are being able to look back and understand now what is working for your life, things that are actually going according to plan, and getting clear. You're moving from that Page of Swords to the Queen of Swords. You're becoming more mature in your ability to discern what is going to work for you in your life and what is not going to work for you. And you'll probably be able to set better boundaries with people who have created this pain and sorrow in your life in the recent past. So, for example, when you choose to date, you go out there and you are now working with a discernment that says, cut this person off if they exhibit these, types of qualities. You're in a job. The minute that job starts to workplace mob you or do something that you're not really keen about, it's time to end it. Recognize that the abundance that you have will allow you to move into a better place, and it is better to do that than to stay in a place or in a workplace that is not going to give you your due or not treat you with the respect that you so desire or even command. So that said, the oracle message that I got for you is the key. And this is number 33. That's a master number about growth and expansion. I remember hearing that in one of the podcasts that I was listening to, like the tarot readings. But additionally, with this master number of expansion and growth, 33 is a very positive number for you. And this is about unlocking the secrets of things being revealed, things being displayed to you in a way where you can actually unveil this occultic difficulty that you've had and now finally see it for what it really is. The key is also about unlocking your true potential as well. So as you go through these new periods, whether or not that's training or getting to know someone or however it applies to your life, what you're going to finally notice is that with this new key, this level of understanding that you've got, you can now face the unknown with greater certainty and greater, courage that is required of you. So no matter what, with the Hierophant, it also shows that, you'll be loyal and faithful to someone very new. If this is a love relationship, the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords, this is probably you meeting someone, probably an air sign, that would allow you to get clear on what your relationship goals are. Maybe that they're a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or something of that nature. If this is a workplace issue, then it's definitely about you going somewhere for the long haul and being no nonsense about it, being very shrewd in your work, dealings from this point on. So that's going to be pretty much it for this particular period. I hope this has been helpful and been of some use for you. Thanks so much again. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. Also be aware of scammers. You know the deal. You know the drill. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks so much. I appreciate your time. I'm going to keep these, again, short for the time being. But I appreciate your time, energy, and support that you put into this channel. And I'll try to keep that coming right back. Until next time, love and light. Take care.